What if I told you you can now install Windows 11 without Microsoft account pressure, without annoying setup questions, without Copilot, and even without a lot of usual Windows bloatware, all is in one tiny tool? Well, that's exactly what just happened. Rufus, one of the most trusted Windows USB creation tools, just got a massive update with version 4.14. And honestly, this might be one of the easiest Windows 11 debloat method we've seen so far. And the best part, it works with Windows 11 24H2, 25H2, and even the upcoming Windows 11 26H2 builds. So in this video, I'll show you what's new, what each option actually does, which settings you should enable, and which one you should probably avoid. And trust me, some of these new features can save you from major Windows headaches later. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tech Sudama Lab, the channel where we talk about Windows, AI, performance, optimization, and the latest tech updates in a simple way that matters. So first, let's quickly talk about what changed. Rufus version 4.1 was recently updated with the new Windows 11 installation customization options. Now, if you've used Rufus before, you already know it's one of the fastest and most reliable tools for creating bootable USB drives. But this new update adds deeper Windows setup modifications directly during installation. That means instead of installing Windows first and then spending hours moving junk apps, changing privacy settings, disabling unwanted features, and fixing setup annoyances, you can now do most of it before Windows even installs. And honestly, that's a much smarter way to do it. So before creating the USB drive, you will need three things. The latest Rufus 4.14. The link will be given in the description, and just open the website and scroll, and here you'll find the latest. Just download the latest one. A Windows 11 ISO file from Microsoft and a 16 GB of USB flash drive. Now I always recommend downloading the official Windows 11 ISO directly from Microsoft instead of random modified ISO files online, because modified ISOs can sometimes include hidden scripts, malware, broken updates, or unstable configurations. Using the official ISO with Rufus gives you much faster, better control and stability. So once you've downloaded the ISO file on Rufus, just double tap on Rufus and click on yes. It opens up. The interface looks mostly the same. You just select your USB drive from there and click on select and select your ISO file just like this, and then you can rename the volume label and then just click on start. But this is where things get interesting, because Rufus now shows a full list of Windows customization options before installation begins, and some of these are honestly game changing. The first option, remove requirements for 4 GB of RAM, secure boot, and TPM 2.0. Now technically this allows older unsupported PCs to install Windows 11, and for many users with older laptops or desktops, this is incredibly useful. But personally, I don't recommend disabling security features unless you really need it. TPM and Secure Boot actually provides important protection features in modern Windows systems. So if your PC already supports Windows 11 officially, I'd leave this disabled. But if you have older hardware and still want to install Windows 11 24H2 or 25H2, this option is a lifesaver. Now, this is probably the feature most users will love. Rufus can completely remove the Microsoft account requirements during installation setup. That means you can create a local account immediately without connecting Outlook, OneDrive, or Microsoft services during installation. And honestly, a lot of users have been asking for this for years, because Microsoft keeps pushing online accounts harder with every Windows updates. So having a simple one-click bypass is extremely useful, especially for privacy-focused users. Another very important option is disabling data collection and skipping privacy questions. Normally during Windows setup, Microsoft asks you about diagnostics, local tracking, advertising IDs, personalized experience, activity history, and multiple telemetry settings. With Rufus, you can now skip most of this automatically, and that makes installation process much cleaner and much faster, especially if you reinstall Windows frequently. Now here is the option I personally think everyone should pay attention to. Disable automatic BitLocker device encryption. Recently, some Windows 11 users, especially on newer 24H2 and preview builds, experience situations where BitLocker suddenly asks for recovery keys after updates or hardware changes. Now, technical BitLocker is useful, but for average users, it can become a nightmare if you lose access to your recovery key. Imagine updating your PC, and suddenly Windows asks for a long encryption code you never even knew existed. That's why many advanced users prefer disabling automatic BitLocker activation unless they specifically need encryption. And Rufus now lets you do that directly during setup. That's actually huge quality of life improvement. Let's talk about the best part. Rufus can now disable many unwanted Windows features automatically, including things like Copilot, OneDrive auto setup, Outlook promotions, some forced Microsoft integrations, fast setup tweaks, and other configure annoyances. Basically, it gives you cleaner Windows experience right from the beginning. And honestly, this is becoming more important with modern Windows versions because Microsoft keeps adding more background integrations, adds recommendations, and cloud connected features. Some people like those features, but many users just want a fast, simple, clean desktop OS. And Rufus finally gives users more control again. Now, there are also a few advanced options you should be careful with. For example, silent and unattended installation. This option will be unlocked if you check all these options. You can see it is unlocked. Since we're talking about, just check it. And now here you just choose your Windows installation versions like Home, Education, Pro, and Pro and Workstation, just like this. Technically, it automates almost everything during Windows setup, but personally, I still recommend manual installing Windows because manual setup lets you verify partitions, drivers, regional settings, and installation options properly, especially if this is your main PC. There is also a bootloader revocation option for potential unsafe Windows bootloaders, unless you specifically understand what that does. It's probably safer to leave it disabled. So overall, Rufus 4.14 is easily one of the most useful Windows tools right now, especially if you install Windows Open, build PCs, optimize systems, or simply want a cleaner Windows 11 experience without all of the extra Microsoft pressure. But now I want to hear from you. Would you use this Debloat feature, or do you prefer stock Windows 11 exactly as Microsoft designed it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to Tech Sudama Lab, and turn notifications on for more Windows 11 updates, optimization guides, AI news, and tech content. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.